But I thought you said you were one and done, and now you're pregnant again? Well, you know, that's life. Hey guys, I am on holiday and I just thought I'd record a video. I won't say explaining my one and done choices, but just talking about my journey from being one and done to having more children. And I guess when I was one and done, when I thought I was one and done, I joined loads of groups on like Facebook. Pardon me. Joined loads of groups on Facebook, watched loads of videos. I am on the balcony, by the way, so it's not too loud at the moment, but hopefully you can hear me. I should probably attach the mic that comes with the DJI, but hopefully when I edit the video, the sound is good. But yeah, so yeah, I can understand why someone commented on this on my last video which I uploaded, and I generally don't have a problem with someone commenting this, because I love a good debate. It was not a debate, but like good explanation, good chat, you know, where we can talk about things. So yes, I said I was one and done. I made maybe 1, 2, 3 videos about being one and done and why I firmly believed that I was not having any more children. And first thing I want to say is no, I'm not having more children because my daughter wants a sibling. And if you are, I guess you are considering being one and done, I feel like this is the most, I don't know, like this is the most common thing that people say. What about your child? Like, they're gonna grow up lonely, they're gonna have only child syndrome, they're gonna be selfish, yada yada yada. Like, I'm not having another child because my child wants a sibling. Yes, my child went through the age around like 2 where she was constantly basically saying she wants a baby sister, and yeah, she was like, yeah, constantly saying she wants a baby sister. And I at no point felt guilty for not giving her a baby sister, because I'm sorry, but children, a 2-year-old has no concept or understanding of the responsibility of caregiving. So I would just laugh it off of her. I would just be like, haha. Like, I don't really carry my child's emotions like that. Like, obviously, like, if she's upset or something happens to her, like, I feel that in my body, but the disappointment or guilt that people feel, I just can't relate to that if my child says they want a sibling, because as I've already said, children do not understand the concept of caregiving, the responsibility that comes with it, and yeah, it's mad, it's crazy out here. So yeah, I'm not having another child, or we are not having another child because we want to give raise a sibling. Yes, it's going to be nice, but for her, and she's very, very excited, but she stopped asking for a sibling. And this is just to reassure you, like, if you are one and done, sometimes it's just a phase. And it was just a phase because she was doing that when she's 2, she's 5.5 now, and she never really asked. Like, once she got through that phase of asking, and she doesn't really ask, like, really ask about it anymore. So this is just to reassure you, if you are one and done, sometimes it's a phase. I guess this is my personal experience. It was a phase for us, and then she didn't ask anymore, just moved on to other things that she wanted, like more Yoto cars or a new doll or a new bag or whatever, you know. That's how children are. They're quite fickle, they move on quite quickly. The next thing for me, like, which is also sibling related, I would say, is that and this is going to be quite controversial, I guess, for some people, but I just can't relate to the feeling of wanting a sibling, like thinking, oh, because when people, like, I was like on forums and I read a lot of things, trust me, about, you know, sibling relationships and age gaps. Like, I did make a video recently on age gaps, and people sort of saying like, oh, like, there's nothing like having a brother or a sister, and I was like, I can't relate. Like, I actually do have siblings, guys, but I think people think, and as adults I think we realize this more, but as, I guess, I don't know, I feel like the wisdom, I'm not saying I'm very wise, like, I have made a lot of mistakes, but I feel like wisdom does come with age, and the way how you view and see the world changes as you get older. And I'm saying that to say that siblings don't always have amazing relationships. Like, having another child does not equal like this amazing bond or experience that people paint it out on the internet to be. And, you know, having other children is what it is. Children fight, you know, they argue. So I'm not saying that's the reason why it's not an amazing experience. I'm just saying, I think sometimes people paint it out to be like having a sibling is like the best thing, and they're gonna bond, and close age gaps are like the best, and it's gonna be amazing, but that's not always how it is. And also, I think when I was researching it, a lot of people said like, oh, when they get older they'll be lonely, or when their parents die, like they'll be the one picking up all the slack if they're the only child. Again, that's not always true. I want to say I didn't have a good relationship with my siblings as I was growing up, but there was a lot of things that happened. And even now that I'm older, seeing other people and their sibling relationships, and I'm talking older adults like 50s, 60s, the way how some people's siblings treat them, I just think, what's all the hype about? Like, what's all the hype about having a sibling, like being your best friend, then being like, I just can't relate to that. So the drive for me to give my daughter a sibling just came from the fact that, well, there was no drive there. Basically, I'm just having another child because I want to have another child, you know what I mean? Second thing is, so that's all the sibling talk wrapped up, because I feel like that is like the most heaviest reason as to why people say, oh, you need to have another child, or they say that your child's going to be lonely. I'm going to say our daughter is not lonely. She lives a very fulfilled, happy life. Sometimes, now that she's a bit older, it does get a bit draining, like constantly her asking us to play with her. Like, I feel like she does rely on us a lot to entertain her. She does go through phases, but I think all children go through phases. Like, you can have two children who don't want to play with each other and you have to entertain them, you know? It's not always like that. Next reason is why I decided to change my mind, I guess, on being one and done is, I don't know, I got older. My daughter's older, I'm older. When I had her, I was 27. So yeah, as I was saying, when I had my daughter, I was 27. I'm now 32. My daughter is moving towards 5.5, and I do feel like as your child gets older, you learn, actually, I don't know, I feel like there's always new things to learn, there's always new phases, but I feel like you just manage better. And I feel like when you're in the thick of it, so when I was in the thick of like sleepless nights, and people will be like, it doesn't last forever, it's just a phase, embrace it. That is definitely the wrong thing, I would think, to say to any parent, mum or dad, who is struggling with sleep deprivation. I feel like sleep deprivation is a form of torture, right? And that is the reason why I am not having any more children. I breastfed for the first 10 months, okay, every 3 hours. Do you know how draining that is? Absolutely exhausting. I feel like most women are the primary caregivers, so as a primary caregiver, I just feel like it took a toll on my mental and physical health. When I was breastfeeding, like for the first year, I was so skinny, because breastfeeding, and I know like skinny is a trend right now, but I just feel like breastfeeding is very physically demanding on the body. Getting little to no sleep is also very demanding on the body. And I'm talking about myself here, I'm talking about the impact on my mental health, but then there's also my partner. The impact, sorry, there's a bike going past or something, I don't know. Oh, it's a van. Like, I'm only one half of this child making. There's also the impact of becoming a parent on my partner's mental health. So I think people make really like by comments about people choosing to be one and done without actually, I don't know, I guess everyone's situation is different and people view parenthood different. They're like, we'll get through the hard years and that's it and it'll be fine, and do it all together and it'll be fine. But for some people, that's just not how they think, and that's not how I thought. And I guess I'm the one who is carrying the child, I'm the one who's going to be breastfeeding, and that is my choice. Yes, breastfeeding does, oh, that looks nice, that looks good. Breastfeeding does, it's a choice, right? It's a choice to breastfeed. You can breastfeed, formula feed. There's also the like whole argument about if you breastfeed then your child doesn't sleep as long. That is not true. So I think, yeah, as a woman, I think it's basically down to me whether I decide that I want to be pregnant again. Obviously there's two people in the partnership, but ultimately it's my decision because I'm carrying the child, unless, you know, you're with a disgusting person who like gets you pregnant by accident, but that's not my situation. So I just think mental health was The second, and actually the biggest reason, I talked about siblings first, but mental health for both myself and my partner, the top reason why I decided, no, the shop is closed until I decide. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I wouldn't say that I'm in the best, pardon me, place mentally right now. There's a bee, wasp, whatever that is, hoverfly. No! Oh my god. Okay, wait. I'm gonna finish the video indoors because I'm getting sweaty. It's hot out there and I'm feeling flustered by the fly that appeared whilst I was filming. But yeah, I just think mental health is extremely important. And do I say fortunately? Unfortunately for us, that has been a big part of our journey. And I just think that, one, being a parent, well, ill mental health has been a big part of our journey, but I feel like being a parent just puts a lot of strain on your mental health in general. And then if you're prone to being unwell mentally, then I just think, why would you add another child on top of that? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, because society says you must have them close together or your child needs a sibling. And I would say, yeah, that my mental health isn't in the best place right now, but we'll see how this second pregnancy goes. So yeah, that's the reason why I decided to not proceed with any further children. By the time my daughter is born, by the time the child is born, Rose will be 5.5, closer to 6. She's much more independent. And I think a lot of people say when you have larger age gaps, then it's harder to like do stuff with the children together. But I mean, we'll figure it out. Like, I just feel like with everything in parenting, you could have, are you standing? Oh, you are standing behind me. You could have 2 children close together, right? And you're like, this is great because we can do stuff together, but then it might not work out. Like, I just feel like my brain is just not set. Like, when I decided that I was one and done, I was very set in that way of thinking. But my brain is not set in that way of thinking right now. Like, as I said, I've grown older, I've evolved. I realized that people can change their minds. Like, you grow, you have different experiences throughout life that just make you see the world differently. And I just think, yeah, we have a 5.5-year age gap. Is it the same as other people that I know have? No. Are we going to be okay? Yes, we are going to be okay. The last thing I would say is finances. So, I mean, having a child is expensive, okay? Like, and also, like, I tried being a stay-at-home mom. This is the thing as well, like, trial and error through parenting, motherhood. Like, there's just so many things that you don't know until you get there. And I only had one friend, actually, at that period of time. Now I have more friends who have children, and some of them are stay-at-home moms, some of them works, like, you know, but I just didn't know what I was doing. Basically, my mom did not grow up in this country, so it's not like I had her as a reference point for anything. So finances, we basically sent our daughter to nursery. So I'm trying to zip my zip up. From the time she was 7 months old. And at that point, there was no you only got funding. If you're in the UK, this will make sense, but you only got funding from like age 3, or was it 4? I don't remember now. But yeah, so from 7 months until basically the September, because it's the term after they turn 3 or something like that, I can't remember now. Our nursery bill was about 800 and something pounds a month. And people are like, oh, well, how you just have to, you know, cut and contrive or be a stay-at-home mum or reduce your hours or whatever. But in between my daughter being born and her turning 3, a lot changed mental health wise in our family. So we just had to basically roll with the punches and whatever life was giving us. And that meant that she had to go to nursery. I was also studying. So I'm just like, I don't want to go on for too long, but I'm just saying this to say, we could not afford to have 2 children in nursery at once, and I did not want to be a stay-at-home mum. 2 children in nursery at once would have been about, I don't know, £1,600 a month. I don't even know if they give sibling discount. That is insane. And for part of this journey, I wasn't working. So I was a stay-at-home mum. I was also studying. So student slash stay-at-home mum. So my husband was paying all the bills, nursery bill, all the bills for everything. And that changed about when my daughter turned just after 1. But yeah, I'm just saying to say, like, we couldn't afford that. That's crazy. And I know a lot of people do have like the 5-year or 4.5-year age gap, depending on when their children are like born, due to the cost of nursery. Like, it's just insane. There's all the other costs, like buying school uniforms and school trips and, you know, enrichment activities for your children. And not everyone can afford to have children close in age together. So yeah, I could say so much more, but I'm hungry. It's 1:30. Oh, what time is it? It's 1:30. And I haven't had lunch yet, and I had a very tiny breakfast. So there's so much more I can say. I'm happy to answer questions if you leave them down below. But yeah, that is some of the reasons why I am no longer one and done, or why I changed my mind. But basically the premise of this video is that life changes. You can be open to change. You can change your mind, because we're grown-ups. We're not children, okay? Different experiences change our views on things. I am a bit scared about having another child, I'm not gonna lie, but we're here now and we're just gonna roll with the punches. But yeah, thank you for watching, and leave any questions down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.